Welcome back to the Financial Times Business of Luxury Summit, coming to you from Lausanne, Switzerland. Joining us today is Frederick Lukoff, the CEO of Stella McCartney, the fashion brand that is part of the PPR group. So it's been a good couple months, year really, for the luxury sector, and Bain is predicting continued growth of 8% this year. Have you found this true? Do you expect it to happen?
I definitely say that I feel the market's good. It's not been a bad year. We've had a lot worse, and so yeah, it's been a really good year for working in luxury. So I'm not going to comment specifically on the 8%, but I do think it's going to be a good year for luxury, definitely.
And that growth is coming primarily from emerging markets or old markets, returning consumers? Our
experience for the growth this year and of the previous years has actually been pretty good all across the board. I'd say the U.S. has been good, Europe has been good, and so has, and of course the emerging markets, China, Japan. Even Japan hasn't been so bad, everything considered, and they've had a tough year, so yeah.
Now we heard yesterday from Jim O'Neill of Goldman Sachs and Gavin Davis of Fulcrum Asset Management that perhaps they weren't expecting things in the U.S. to continue to be as good as they briefly have been. Do you think that's a valid point, or do you expect, certainly in the luxury sector, things to continue?
I can only comment for the designer space in which we operate, and the designer space has been very strong in the United States, and I have not seen any sign or leading indicator that would make me worried about the U.S. market right now. We follow the news, we read the Financial Times, but I have not seen anything that worries me, and I have a lot of faith in the U.S. We're investing in the United States.
And the other thing we heard about yesterday was a new generation of consumers coming up in the luxury space called Generation X, which used to be called slackers, as far as I remember, but seem clearly not to be slacking so much anymore if they're buying luxury goods. Is this something you see? Are they part of your market base?
Yeah, very much. I think we're a Generation X brand, actually. We're all, at Stella, most of us are members of Generation X. I'm actually quite glad to hear Generation X again. It's been all about the boomers for so long that it's nice to hear our generation becoming news. And since Generation Y is so much bigger than Generation X, we've got to enjoy the moment while it lasts. It's not going to last. But yeah, I definitely believe in that's a new generation of consumers, and we're very engaged with them.
And in your opinion, what's the sort of hallmark of that generation? What are they looking for? How do you talk to them?
I think that's one of the values at Stella, is being ourselves. So it's very much Stella's values, just being true to herself. And being quite authentic, and I think there's a good response to that. And there's a value set also that I think is part of Generation X, more ethical, responsible, globally minded, very international, less. I mean, there's a lot of different values, and those values are shared, and if you're honest in practicing them, then your audience responds to it.
They also seem interested in luxury as broadly defined, so not just necessarily clothes, but electronics, furniture, travel. You're certainly in the sports space. Yeah. Do you think this will drive brand extensions in the future?
Yeah. In a nutshell, yes. I think that is what drives brand extensions. If you aim to be, rather than a purveyor of handbags or clothes but you aim to give your particular take on a lifestyle, which is very much what we do at Stella, actually. We do have a point of view on lifestyle, and we want to offer a complete offer to cater to that lifestyle, then yes, it does drive brand extensions. And so we do look at categories and adding progressively categories as they fit within that lifestyle.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lukoff.
Thank you.